Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this video. Black Oak clients, it has been a while. We haven't done Breakfast with Black Oak in some time. I don't know if you've noticed, I've been doing a lot of video with my YouTube channel slash podcast, and I've been doing a lot of radio lately. So I've kind of gotten away from the Friday morning videos, which we're going to get back to. I do promise. But this is kind of a special announcement, if you will, as far as the contribution limits for next year. So again, want to welcome all Black Oak clients. My name is Ryan Ledden. I'm president of Black Oak Asset Management. A lot of you know that. You may not work directly with me, but you may work with one of our slew of advisors now. It used to be just me, and then it ended up being Nick and Parnick, and then Autumn, and then Damon, and then Rick. Anyway, so we have several, so that's really cool. But you may work with one of those other advisors, but again, I'm the president of the company, and we're a team here. But you may work individually with those specific individuals. So we're all on the same team. I'm not trying to if you're Nick's clients down in Macon, I'm not trying to get business from you. We already work together. It's just directly you're working with Nick, and we help each other out with a lot of cases as well. So anyway, so we're all under the same umbrella. So I do want you to know that as we go into this video. So the reason why I'm doing this video, it's an announcement that the IRS just came out with, and it greatly affects most of you out there. If you're still working, a lot of these things still affect you. If you're retired, not so much because you don't have any earned income. So a lot of these accounts that we're contributing to, it doesn't affect you. So I have my little cheat sheet here because the numbers are a little quirky that the IRS came up with as far as contribution limits for 2026. So we want to get this out there so you can start planning ahead for next year. As this video comes out, we're finishing up the week before Thanksgiving, and then obviously Thanksgiving, and then before we know it, Christmas is going to be here, and then boom, the beginning of the year starts. So I have my cheat sheet here. I want to make sure I got all these numbers right because they just were announced a couple of days ago. So I haven't really committed them to memory either. So this is why we're doing it. So let me get right to the point. So the IRS 2026 retirement plan contribution limits. So some of the highlights are, so if you have a 401k, or a 403B, or a 457, all the numbers and letters kind of jumbled together. So the employee, that's you, the employee contribution limit has increased. It's $24,500 per person if you're under the age of 50. And let me push the pause button really quick. You're going to have a document posted below that you can download all of this. So don't commit this to memory. I at least want to portray it and say it out loud, but then it'll be a document that will be posted below on this video. So that's up $1,000. If you're over the age of 50, there's an $8,000 catch-up contribution. So that makes it $32,500 for employees to contribute. Again, this does not include matches that your company may have. It does not include. That's on top of your employee contributions. And then there's a small caveat. If you're between the ages of 60 to 63, there's an extra catch-up contribution. It's not $8,000 like we just mentioned from 50 to 59. It is 11,250. That's according to the Secure Act 2.0. So that's the majority of you out there. If you're a person who has their own business and you have the SEP IRA, that's just you. That's it. It's up to $72,000 next year. That's a lot. $72,000. Now there's a calculation involved. You need to work with a CPA or an accountant or an EA to know that calculation, but you may put up to 25% of eligible compensation is the definition. And you can go up to $72,000. That's a lot of money that you can put in a SEP IRA. Let's see what else. Next, IRAs. This is traditional IRAs and Roth IRAs. Contribution limits go up to $7,500. It was $7,000 last year. Now it is up to $7,500. So let me get my old school calculator out. 7,500 divided by 12. That gets us to $625 a month. If you're wanting to max these accounts out by the end of the year, you need to change your contribution starting in January at $625. It was $583.33 per person if you wanted to max it out. If you're over the age of 50, you have that extra catch-up contribution just like 401ks do, and it's $1,100. That is a change. It used to be always $1,000 above the contribution limit. Well, now it's $1,100. So let's do the math. 7,500 plus 1,100, which I can do in my head, but I'm going to do it on a calculator anyways. It's $8,600. You divide that by 12. That is, show it on the screen here. Nope, let me go this way because I'm kind of opposite. $716.66 per month to max a Roth or an IRA out on a monthly basis next year, starting in January. Let's see what else. There's also phase outs. I'm not going to go through all this because it's going to be in the sheet below. Simple IRAs. Some of you had that through a small business, usually 100 employees or less. You may have a simple IRA and not necessarily a 401k. A simple IRA was $16,500. It's up only $500 to $17,000. If you're the age of 50 to 59, it's $4,000. And if your age is 60 to 63, it's $5,250. That's still because of the Secure Act 2.0. So there's an extra catch-up contribution for those 60 to 63. And they came up with the 60 to 63 because actuarially speaking, that's about those last few years before you're about to retire. Not for everybody, but for some. So those are the big major changes. There's a lot to change. We mentioned earlier that the Social Security increase was 2.8%. That was the COLA for next year. So every year there's some resets, and it just seems like this year there was more resets than normal. So we wanted to get that out. Contact the advisor that you are working with, or contact Andrea at our office. She can get these contributions changed and dialed in for January of 2026. So if you've been diligent about maxing those accounts out, go ahead and do that because, these next 6 to 7 weeks to end the year will flash by. It'll go by quick. So we want to make sure that you're staying ahead of that, and then make sure if you want to change your 401k contributions to max those out. Again, it's an extra $1,000 for most of you out there that you can put in there depending on your age. So again, we want to announce that, want to get that out to all of you. So hope that helps. Give us any feedback, send back any questions that you may have. Hopefully the document that is posted below will help you out as well as you navigate the waters of 2026 and be able to max out those contribution limits for next year so you can have a happy retirement. Again, we'll see you soon. I'm going to start doing the Friday morning videos again here real soon. But again, happy Thanksgiving. Hope everyone has a great time with their family. And we'll reach back out here pretty soon, starting in December. Thanks so much.